Yes, I do. I do bartend for for some celebrities sometimes.
So the answer is yes. That what she said is true, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And but I mean, they have done good so far. I thought $500 would be good. I mean, they have been doing great. I mean.
You think $500 is enough to raise children and you're making an additional $5,000?
Is it support or a payday? Welcome back. Today's story dives into a divorce case that's raising eyebrows. Daniel and Kendra split up, and Daniel's been paying $500 a month in child support, an amount both agreed on. But now that Daniel's income has jumped by $5,000 a month, Kendra wants more. She asks, do you really think $500 is enough to raise kids with your new income? It's a fair question. Or is it? Is this about the child's needs or about getting a bigger piece of Daniel's paycheck? In many cases, rising income leads to rising support payments. But where do we draw the line between supporting a child and financially supporting an ex? Let's dig into that.
Ms. Alma, you brought this case before the court. What's going on?
Well, we are currently divorced and he's paying me child support. And lately he's been doing a lot of extra, he's a bartender, and he's been doing a lot of extra parties for professional sports figures and making a lot more money than what he previously admitted to when we first got our divorce. He's making like around an extra $5,000 a month in tips from his bartending gigs. And I just feel like with 3 kids, we need to increase the child support. And he's not agreeing with me on that.
Well, if what you're saying is true, I would agree with you too. We need to increase that child support amount. And you said how many children?
3.
3 children. Okay. You said about $5,000 a month. And I have documents up here from your most recent court order. $500 a month?
Yes.
For 3 children?
For 3 children. Okay.
Is there anything else you want me to know before I move over to him?
No, I just think that he's denying the fact that he's making this additional money every month, and I think it's obvious everything he puts onto the media, buying drinks for people and buying shots, and he's at these high-profile parties, and I just think that he needs to do what's right for our kids, and it's hard to take care of that many kids on $500 a month.
Right. Yeah, I would definitely agree. What about health insurance for these children?
They're on Medicaid.
Okay, all right. Sir, is there a reason, you're not supporting your children more? And first off, is what she's saying true?
Well,
yeah, what does that mean?
Sort of, it's yes, I do bartend for some celebrities sometimes.
So the answer is yes, that what she said is true, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And but I mean, they have done good so far. I thought $500 would be good. I mean, they have been doing great. I mean,
you think $500 is enough to raise children and you're making an additional $5,000 a month?
Well,
is that what you're saying?
Yes, I bring them clothes, from time to time. That helps them,
That's called parenting.
Backpacks.
Parenting.
Laptops.
Parenting.
Yes, Your Honor. And I mean, honestly, being a bartender, my income is not fixed, so I'm always saving for a rainy day. That's why I don't want to part with a lot of my money, my savings. I want to keep some of that money for the future and
your children's future.
Well, yes, yeah, that too.
Right. So that means you shouldn't have a problem paying the additional amount based on your income.
Well, what if I lose my job, Your Honor?
What if I lose mine?
For me. Well, true, but I mean.
Yeah, I've got 3 kids.
Well,
Works
we got
both ways.
3 kids. I mean, we got them.
Well, it
together,
feels
right?
like I have 3 kids.
And just when you thought it couldn't get messier, it does. So here's the twist. Kendra now claims Daniel's been bartending at private events, raking in an extra $5,000 a month. We're talking fancy gigs, maybe even celebrity parties. And of course, now she wants a bigger payout. Why? because suddenly those 3 kids apparently got more expensive the moment their dad started making more cash. But she doesn't stop there. She's also accusing Daniel of hiding income while flaunting stacks of cash and showing off rounds of drinks on social media like he's living the dream. Judge Vaughn wasn't having it. She asked him straight up if the claims were true. Daniel's answer, a weak sort of, not exactly a confidence booster. Then he tries to argue that $500 is more than enough. He buys the kids backpacks, clothes. They're fine, right? Meanwhile, he's also talking about saving up because bartending isn't stable. Fair point, but child support is, and just when you think he's out of excuses, he drops the old, "what if I lose my job" card, like he's already unemployed. At this point, both sides are looking a little wild. But let's unpack it, because this level of entitlement on both ends deserves a closer look.
Since you're not
do
really doing
visit
a
them
part.
from time to time. You know, I was there last month. I took them for the entire weekend, and
Oh, you took them for one weekend. You took your children for one long weekend.
yes, ma'am.
Parenting.
Yes, I mean,
Right.
my
You're
job,
not going to get a medal for that. That's what you should do as a parent. You should take your children for long weekends. You should buy them backpacks. You should buy them laptops. You should buy their clothes. That's what a parent does. And that's not even a good parent. That's basic parenting. Good parenting goes above and beyond those things that I just said. You haven't said anything about going above and beyond. And based on what she's saying, these children are with her most of the time. Do you think about how her expenses increase with your children always being with her? $500? That's probably enough to cover groceries, if that.
well, that might be true, but you have to consider this. I work almost every day, and
I do too.
I don't get a break, and you know, parenting the kids, that takes a lot of effort, and sometimes I don't feel like I'm up for it. You know, I'm tired, and so I have already taken a lot of time off. You know, for those parties, for the celebrity parties, I have to work extra hours, and so
You haven't said anything that moved me. You just gave a bunch of excuses, quite frankly. You didn't deny anything that she just said. So you are in agreement that you're making about $5,000 a month for these private parties, right?
yes, ma'am.
Okay, that's all I needed to know. And it is true that these children are on Medicaid, correct?
Yes,
And you only have 3 children?
yes.
All right, so we're going to modify your child support today, Mr. Alma. It's the right thing to do. You're going to have to pull from that savings that you're saving for yourself and start saving for these children's future, as well as taking care of them monthly. You got it? All right, so this is what we're going to do. I'm going to base your child support off of that $5,000 a month, which will put your salary around $60,000. Like I said, gross is $5,000. That brings your net down to $4,101.87. Do you have any other children outside of these 3?
No, ma'am. That's the only children that I have.
Okay. All right. And then I'm going to do 9% of your gross for the reimbursement to Medicaid, which comes out to about $450. Do you have access to private health insurance? Can someone at one of these private parties get you some health insurance for these children?
I can try.
Well, I would suggest that you do, because I think that you can find health insurance a lot cheaper than $450, okay? So $450 plus your monthly child support obligation comes out to $1,680 a month. Okay? You have any questions about that?
No, I understand.
Okay, it's the right thing to do. So I would hope you do understand. You have 3 kids. You have to take care of them beyond backpacks and everything that we've already discussed. Mom needs some assistance too, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Is there anything further?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Well, if there's nothing further, you all are dismissed. Thank you. You're welcome.
And just when you thought it couldn't get worse for Daniel, it does. Daniel really thought that taking the kids for one long weekend meant he shouldn't have to pay much in child support. Seriously? That's called parenting, not a favor. Meanwhile, Candra's raising the kids full time, and we all know $500 doesn't go far these days. That barely covers groceries, let alone everything else kids need. But Daniel's still playing the victim card, complaining about how tiring private bartending is and how he needs to save money. The kicker, he never even denied anything Candra said about his side income. Judge Vaughn wasn't fooled. She saw straight through the act and hit him with a reality check. His new child support payment, $1,600 a month. And guess where that money's coming from? Yep, those rainy day savings he was so stressed about. Judge Vaughn made it clear, child support isn't optional, and excuses won't cut it. If you enjoy deep dives like this, make sure to check out our other videos. Hit that like button, drop a comment, and don't forget to subscribe. Catch you in the next one.